Hello, my name is Eric Kruger, and I'm on the board of directors for a charity called Friends of Chimbote. You might know me from hanging around Mrs. Kruger's classroom if you had her in third grade. And I'm happy to talk about this great mission that you'll be supporting this year at Nativity School. So we're going to talk a little bit about Chimbote. This is a city in the country of Peru. You can see it way down in South America. It once was a thriving fishing port where thousands of rural and mountain people rushed into the city seeking jobs. In about 1970, there was a devastating earthquake that destroyed the factories and the jobs, and 70,000 people died. For most residents, it caused a life of hardship, extreme poverty, and despair. Thousands of families living in the barrios served by the mission live in woven reed shacks. Floors are compact dirt, and many do not have electricity, running water, or sewers. More than 40 years ago, two people decided to make a difference. Father Jack Davis and Sister Peggy Byrne went to Chimbote, Peru over 40 years ago. Father Jack was a priest in Nativity Parish at the time, and Sister Peggy was a teacher at Nativity School. Over the years, there have been thousands that have visited the mission to help the poor. You can see some of those people here. I'm down here. You might recognize maybe some siblings or older students from Shanley from some of these pictures. 20 years ago, Brent and I went to Chimbote on a mission trip. We spent time at the church, Our Lady of Perpetual Help. Several years after we returned home, Nativity parishioners painted the same picture on our own cafeteria. So here you can see me with a bunch of the kids from Peru with the mural in the background at the Our Lady of Perpetual Help. And here I am with my family at the same mural. And if you go into the lunchroom, you'll see the same mural painted in the Nativity lunchroom. 20 years later, for the last 2 years, we returned with our daughters. So Brendan and I were there 20 years ago or 22 years ago, and the last 2 years we've returned with our daughters, Ella and Mia, who both went to Nativity Elementary School. We did a lot of the same activities that Mrs. Kruger and I did there 20 years ago. We did lots of activities with the kids that are there. We spent time at schools helping out, so we'd go to the schools and we planted trees and handed out lunches and books and notebooks. And we delivered beds and furniture to people who didn't have any and were sleeping on the dirt. So you can see a couple Nativity kids over here on the right. Both of these kids went to school at Nativity, and you'll see Mrs. Kruger right there. She went to school at Nativity, and also her friend Dan went to school at Nativity. We visited a new bakery where the people can learn a skill and make a living wage. And we visited a school where people can learn sewing skills. So part of the money that Friends of Chimbote uses is to teach the people in Chimbote, Peru, how to do skills like cooking and sewing. We visited businesses and homes that have been started because of the microloan program. So the microloan program is also funded by Friends of Chimbote, and that's a program where they loan business owners money to buy goods that they can sell in their little shops. And then they pay that money back from the profits that they make selling the inventory that they bought. And finally, we get updates from some of the 110 employees who are helping the poor. So the Friends of Chimbote mission sponsors about 110 people that work exclusively in Chimbote just to help the poor people with food and medicine and whatever else that they need. The people in Chimbote are full of life and so friendly. They need our support. So COVID in 2020 really affected the people in Chimbote. So some of the things that we're focusing on during the COVID crisis in Chimbote are garden boxes. So money is used to buy garden boxes for people to plant their own gardens. The bakery is still open, and people at the bakery are baking food to be delivered to the poor in Chimbote. Hygiene packets, so packets for cleanliness so people can sterilize their hands and wear masks. They don't pass the COVID virus. whiteboards, so part of education, we have whiteboards so the kids can learn outside. The carpentry shop was given 26 tons of wood so that they can make different things for the people in Chimbote. And there's been a few fires, so the carpentry shop has been busy building furniture for the people whose houses have burned during the fire. These common pots are where people can come together and make meals together in the community, so kind of like a community soup kitchen. Food distribution. So one of the things they're focusing on is distributing food to the poorest of the poor in Chimbote, along with nutritional packets, and also providing medical care for the people who are sick, and also the soup kitchens. So they operate some soup kitchens, and with the COVID, a lot of people can't go out and work, so a lot of people need to come to the soup kitchens to get food to feed themselves and their families. So Nativity's Lenten almsgiving can make a big impact for the children and adults in Chimbote, Peru. So you can fill your coin cards or bring in coins, and every week there'll be an update on how much has been collected. So let's see what Nativity School can do for the people of Chimbote. I have highlighted a couple of different goals here. So if every kid in Nativity was able to bring $10 worth of donations, you could buy a 2-bedroom or maybe a 3-bedroom house for somebody in Peru and give somebody a house that doesn't have a house. So that's kind of a cool goal to do. Other things, we can buy beds, we can do a whiteboard or provide meals. So lots of different things that you can raise money for. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for coins to bring in for your Lenten almsgiving. We have quite a few weeks to do this. So if you can scrounge together about $10, then maybe we can buy somebody in Chimbote, Peru, a house. So thank you very much for having Friends of Chimbote as your Lenten almsgiving donor. The people of Chimbote, Peru really appreciate it. Thank you.